The 2017 Aston Martin DB1 has the examination and the feel of a big-budget attempt from a low-volume indulgence automobile producer. The Grand Tour aspects technology that would be expected from a much larger automaker with deeper pockets. Not a specialty, low-volume farmer from Gaydon, England. Among the DB11's technical accomplishments, active aerodynamics that create a virtual spoiler, a twin-turbocharged V12 with cylinder deactivation, a resonate identity that prescribes everything from the in-cabin racket to groans from the leather and doorbells, and one of the largest flattened aluminum segments ever made for its clamshell punk, according to the automaker. Sourcing the aluminum punk took several months. Constructing the big snout took even longer. The three-stage seatbelt sound may have taken several years, we suspect. The DB11 contests against ultra-luxury tours such as the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso, Bentley Continental GT, and Maserati Gran Turismo. Like any supercar, the Aston Martin DB11 is a statement of form first. The curvaceous, but slender, DB11 is noticeably busier than the DB9 it supersedes. Aston Martin leader designer Marek Reichman said the car company utilized design principles to create a more efficient product, and those cues speak in their own body's lines. Up front, the lower punk front and kooky chin keep the car lower to the ground, but a larger grille than on the DB9 guides cooling for the big 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged V12 underneath, planted behind the front wheels. Thanks to that single piece of rolled aluminum, the punk is exempt from shunt wires and visual flaws. Its details aren't instantly seaming, but once the big clamshell opens, trust us, they'll never look at the DB11 in the same way. Strakes from the front rotate cure avoid high pressure from the tires. They are not just cool-looking design elements, and those deep vents around the rear windows, those are functional extremely. They carry air into the DB11's aero blade, which ports that air up through the decklet to create a virtual spoiler. It's actually closer to a compact, to increase drag and help increase downforce. The net aftermath is a cleaner exterior and a perfect silhouette for the Grand Tour's shape. Under the punk is an all-new 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged V12 that produces 600 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It's roughly 10 pounds lighter than the outgoing 6.0-liter V12 from the DB9 that it supersedes, not to mention about 100 horsepower and 60 pounds-feet more powerful. Its compact design facilitated technologists determine the engine back 3.3 inches behind the front rotates for better heaviness distribution. The new machine canal's capability to the rear rotates via a ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic transmission. Steering wheel-mounted paddle shifters are standard, but the transmission's alter logic is better than a human's. Kicking down 4 paraphernalia is seamless, and in convenience mode, it's anxious to keep the DB11 under 2,000 revolutions per minute to defrost the highway miles away. Active torque vectoring via brake-actuated organizations, and electric assist capability steering compound for a direct, accurate restraint of the DB11's 3,902 pounds. The DB11's aluminum torso and redesigned chassis are 85 pounds lighter, but 15% stiffer than the DB9. The DB11 is longer, wider, and lower than that automobile, although strict lap time recital isn't its purview. At extra-legal quickens, the DB11 is agreed and self-confident. Push the car into triple toes and its back and becomes a little lighter. All 600 horsepower is available here, even if it isn't necessary. Inside, the DB11 is awash in leather and electronics, high-quality materials and finishes befitting its $212,000 price tag. That's beating on the door of many other higher-priced exotics, and the Aston doesn't disappoint. Although the Grand Tour has 2 back seats, we suppose they won't be used often. We're predicting many DB11s will be 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th or 6th options in garages around the world, so backseat convenience, well, takes a backseat. Driver and fare are suede intelligence to heel in leather. The headliner is leather and the deep, comfy pails are all conceal, extremely. Aston Martin stipples the leather in a range of selected colors or tailor-made swatches if you like. The leather is naturally grained and luxuriously situated without nicks or scars. Aston Martin articulates it has created sonic identities for its new cars, with a distinctive tint, resonate, and experience to every face and indicator all the way down to the resonate. The leather obliges where reference is rubbed. That may be a bridge of we're extremely far, but it's clear that a meticulous height of detail went into the car's structure. Buttons feel mechanical and solid, the paddle shifters are precise and click confidently through paraffiniums, and even the push-button kindling is exquisite. We'll suck the Kool-Aid on this one. Our quibble: Aston Martin has cribbed Mercedes-Benz's infotainment system. Daimler owns 5% of Aston Martin, and it's not all that useful here, either. Like all supercars, no refuge data is available. We don't think it ever will be either. These things are too pretty to crash. 6-piston calipers on 15.7-inch rotors up front, and 4-piston calipers on 14.1-inch rotors out back here apprehend the car from its prolific quickens. A standard augment of resistance organizations helps keep the car on the road. 8 Criterion airbags position when it isn't. If you're looking for advanced refuge organizations or autonomous aspects on the DB11, may we interest you in the station of this automobile. It's to be driven, not to be driven in. Aside from personalized shades and cover schemes, not much else is optional on the DB11. Customized luggage or kickplates are available. Back up the truck full of coin and you might get one with some flares painted on the sides. Our favorite coloring compounding is the cinnabar orange with black conceals and silver accent stitching. Though frosted glass blue is a daring collect, quantum silver is classy, but shades testify the DB11's slinky torso better. We envisage the twin-turbo V12 will be enough to trip the EPA's gas guzzler tax, but federal officials haven't yet weighed in.